if you're going to take a girl out, take her to a restaurant that is in your financial budget.
Like then you're actually aligns with your lifestyle as well.
Yeah, one. I mean, I might be a little offended you take me to McDonald's, but I still love McDonald's, okay? But that
Don't take her on. I don't take any of us to McDonald's as much as we love McDonald's and win it out.
no one of us but I'm just saying, if that's your financial lane, then I think you should just take her out. Like, I get that you want to impress her, which is fine, but you kind of set that standard in the beginning anyways. If you take her to this really fancy restaurant and then the next day you take her to a Burger King, she's gonna be hella pissed.
Welcome to the Real and Relatable podcast, where no topic is off limits. We're the girlfriends that keep it real and give you different perspectives, because we know one way isn't always the right way.
Hi, welcome to another episode of the Real and Relatable podcast. I'm Ma. My name is Cash.
I'm LC. And I'm MB.
And in today's episode, we are going to be doing a little version of Mukbang. So as you can see, we have all of this food in front of us that we got up early to cook. But before we talk about the food, let's go over our drink of choice today, or my drink of choice today. So I got this bone broth from Whole Foods because I saw it on TikTok. And the girl swears that it tastes just like the bone broth that you get at those self-serve places at those Korean cold noodle places. So let's have a taste and let me know what you guys think. She says it's just the same. So cheers.
No, I wouldn't say it tastes the same. No, it tastes like it's lacking. Yeah, a little bland.
Yeah, mine tastes oily. I think you got the bottom level out of that and stuff there. So it tastes a little oily. Don't drink it because it's going to kick you to ketosis. I mean, it's good. I mean, the bone broth is good. Like, if you just want to drink bone broth for, like, your own, like, health reasons, like collagen and for your immune system, for good skin, it's still a good drink. But if you're interested, we'll link it in the description below. Otherwise, okay, let's talk about the food. So we'll start off over here. I'm sure you guys have already seen these before, but they're egg rolls. But this is our version of egg rolls. We make it with pork. So it's pork, cellophane noodles, and a bunch of mix. So we'll link the recipes for all of these on our website. So we'll link it below so you can find those if you are interested. And then to my left, your right, is stuffed chicken wings. So Elsie spent all day yesterday deboning those chicken wings. So you do actually have to debone it and then stuff it in order to get stuffed chicken wing. And then right in front of it is chicken la, is what we call it. It's like a version of like a Lao nam tok, but it's made with rotisserie chicken, so it's really, really good. And then the two side dishes are a peanut butter pepper sauce. So it's very unique, but you have a nut allergy, definitely don't try that recipe. But it is very good. It goes really well with egg rolls and stuffed chicken wings. So as you can see, we kind of already dug into the food, but we couldn't wait. Yeah. So we're going to try to eat as we talk. So don't mind us if we're slurping and making odd noises. It's not ASMR, so.
And I just want to say thank you to Elsie and Ma and MB for cooking this amazing dinner or lunch. Ma's a really amazing cook, and anybody who marries her would be very lucky and would be eating good for life. That is a fact. So, and have a clean and organized home.
Very true. Yes. So thank you all. I don't feel like I'm a cook like that. I feel like I just like cooking and I like trying new recipes. And I'm really good at following directions. So I think that's kind of why I cook.
But you also find like joy in like the prepping of it. I don't. I'm like, it's so tedious.
Well, that's because I turn on like my true crime podcast and I just, zone out and cook, And when I say I'm not a true cook, because like my sister-in-laws, I think they're real cooks because, if they make something, they know, like, let's say if it's too salty, they know how to counter it so that it makes it better. Or they know like certain ingredients that I don't, or like certain vegetable taste like a certain way or a certain seasoning tastes a certain way. Like, I don't know. I do not know all that. I just know how to cook the stuff that I cook.
Love.
Yeah. And then if I want to try something new, then I just figure it out. Just like, when I make kimchi, I just followed a recipe, and then it turned out. I mean, I did tweak it a little bit, but overall, I was following a recipe. So.
No, your kimchi is really good. It is so good and so spicy. Really good. Spicy kimchi. So, question, do you do Asian cooking where you just kind of eyeball the ingredients?
Yeah.
Okay. It's hard to teach someone how to cook when you really eyeball how much salt you need.
Yeah.
And I think we've gotten good at eyeballing, getting expert,
Well, when I first made this, I didn't talk about this dish. So this is Kapwan. This is a red curry noodle dish. When I first tried this dish, I asked my sister-in-laws like for the recipe and how to cook it. And they're like, oh, onions, garlic. I'm like, well, how much? Like, they're like, I don't know, just enough. I'm like, what's and they're like, just do. And I'm like, how much, coconut milk? And they're like, I don't know, just like a can or two, or make it look pretty. I'm like, I don't know how to follow those directions. So it was trial and error for a little bit, just to get this recipe right for me. But I mean, I like it now, and I make it quite often. So
it's funny because we grew up with our parents just telling us like, oh, just put this in. They don't tell us the measurement.
yeah.
So I feel like when I try to teach my daughter this, I'm going to be the same exact way. And it's like how much salt to put in. I don't know, just to taste.
Yeah. I hate it when people say that, just to taste. Well, how do I know what it tastes like if I hadn't put anything in there yet?
Oh, the way my mom was saying, just sprinkle a little bit all around, and then stir up and taste it, and that we can do again. But I just sprinkle to kind of like all over.
It's better to undersalt than to oversalt.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Because if you oversalt, there's really nothing that
I could add to it. You just can't take away. So if you add more water, it's gonna lose the other ingredient.
Yeah,
It's gonna be a hot mess.
Yeah, then it's gonna be all watery down, and it's gonna taste like our bone broth. Just kidding.
What do I need? Really good. Sorry.
Yeah,
They're very flavorful.
it has a really nice sour, but not salty, but a sour.
I like sour and savory. Are each of you, do you prefer savory or sweets? Like, what do you lean towards?
I like more spicy, salty.
Yeah, me too. Spicy, savory. I do not really like very tart things.
Yeah,
This Pharaoh man, she always over lemon and satisfy everything.
that's because I love lime.
Same.
And I like in my Kapwan, I probably squeeze like almost half a lime. And if it's more, I don't even put lime in it. Usually see hers, she'll like squeeze like it's very. It's not about the way to why am I trying to do that?
And then I put it back on the plate, and she comes out. She's like, "Oh my god!" And I'm like, "Oh, so just squeeze the rest of that lemon."
But I think with the lye, you need the sour taste. That's just how lye is made. So I don't mind it like that. But yeah, I'm typically more savory, spicy. I do like sweet. Like, I feel like after we have this meal, I need something refreshing. As an LA Lenza, do you guys do that?
Yeah,
I don't.
I have to buy watermelon.
Right? Yes, I love fruits. Or else like something sweet, like a dessert. And it's like, I don't have to have a lot of it. I just need something. Yeah, when we used to live together, after we eat, she'll be like, oh, I need something, like fruit or something. I'm like, that's why we always have fruit in the fridge.
Oh,
I'm too lazy.
fruit's healthier than a cake.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, and so, I mean, we typically won't buy cake because nobody eats it. I do have a sweet tooth, but again, because nobody eats
Oh, they have a sweet tooth? I didn't know that.
I love sweets, but I can't, like, indulge in it. I just like a little because I'm, okay, especially with American dessert, it's so rich.
Yeah.
I can't eat that. But if it's, like, Asian, like, cakes and stuff, it's easier to eat. But with that, I can't, like, really eat too much. I'll have, like, a couple of bites. But when it's fruit, it's like, give me the whole platter. I love fruits.
Yeah.
This peanut sauce is amazing. And the egg roll is so good. I missed some of yours and some of yours.
Oh, yeah.
Because they have two different sauces.
Yeah.
I think Ma is the original. And then LC, you added some.
It's like a sweeter version. So it's like extra peanut buttery and sweet chili sauce. It's a recipe from my friend Juanita.
It's so good. Oh my gosh.
Because like everything is kind of like on the savory side. So then I kind of like to balance it with a little bit of sweetness in my sauce.
Everyone's probably watching Cash eat. They're like, damn, that looks good. But that's because Cash was good as a like so bad. I know every time I'm watching it, like, is it really that good for a she's star? And I'm like, I'm not even that hungry, but the way she's eating that makes me want to eat. I'm so interested. Do you guys remember the first time you guys cooked? Well, I learned how to cook from my mom. I was pretty young. I think I was in middle school, but I'm also the oldest daughter. So I had to help and I had to learn how to cook early on. How about you guys? You know what I just realized? You three are the oldest. Oh. Oh, yeah.
And you're middle, right?
I'm a middle child, yeah. Do you see similarities in the three of us that might be credited to or being the oldest due to that? No, because I just realized that you guys are all older daughters until right now. Okay. Are you guys like the oldest in your family or just the oldest daughter, oldest in the family? Oh, I'm not the oldest in the family. I'm just the oldest girl.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but I don't think that as a daughter, they still have the same expectations, like to learn how to cook and clean.
So you learned in middle school, and then you learned how old are you guys when you learned?
I started cooking when I was very young because my parents didn't have. I mean, they had babysitters here and there, but they left us alone a lot, and I don't cow salad. I cooked I think when I was like 8, 7, 8, 9, 10. And it's so funny because my sister, my sweet sister, I remember when I was like, if I was 7 and I was cooking eggs, she'd be like, I want to help you cook. And I would tell her, you have to wait until you're older next year. And then the next year I'd be like, oh, you have to wait until you're older. But the truth was I was scared of the whole fire hazard thing. I just didn't want anyone to accidentally like get anything on fire. But yeah, I was young when I started to learn how to cook. Yeah, same here. I was young too, but I didn't actually cook on my own until much later in life. Like when I was younger, my dad or my mom would usually start the dish and I'll finish it, or I'll start it and they'll finish it. So I never really cooked a meal on my own until I lived on my own. So
I didn't learn until I was like, I think I'm junior or even a senior in high school. And I think it's because my grandma was always around, or we had aunts around. And so, or maybe my mom just didn't feel like I was ready. I don't know. And then, so one day she comes over to me and I'm like watching TV in the living room. Like, she's like, I'm in the kitchen. I'm going to teach you how to cook. I'm like, oh no, I don't want to learn. So get your butt in the kitchen. You're going to need to know that if your husband's going to be home at 6, you need to be in the kitchen at 5 o'clock and cook and have dinner ready for him when he gets home. I was like, oh my God, I don't want that life. But now I appreciate it because I know how to, do things, get around the kitchen. I don't enjoy cooking, but at least I can.
I think it's a skill everybody needs to learn how to. I mean, I would be pretty turned off if I had a partner who didn't know how to cook and refused to learn. Interesting. Yeah, so what if you guys dated someone that didn't cook? So, DoorDash. I actually, at one point, was talking to somebody, and he was an amazing cook. His Instagram had just amazing dishes that he would cook all the time. But when I was with him, he completely spoiled me. Like breakfast in bed, handmade waffles and everything, and I made that one. Just all the food that I love. We just love food together. It was amazing. And then I have dated another person who didn't even know how to make rice, and he didn't know how to cook anything. And it's not cute.
I was with someone who would be at home. So he was laid off, right? And he'd be at home, and I'd be coming home from work, and we'll be on the phone and say, what are you going to make for dinner? Man, I was like, really? You've been sitting around all day and then you ask me what's good for dinner? So that was like annoying. And then I was with somebody who can cook and gets around the kitchen, but we ate very differently. So at first I was like, oh, that's great. He can fend for himself, he can feed himself, and he doesn't have to wait around for me. But he eats like very healthy, like grilled chicken, salad, or veggies, and that's it every single day. That's what he would eat. And he's like not into carbs or anything like that. So after a while, I was like, oh, it's kind of lonely, actually. So kind of like if you want to eat something, you're like eating by yourself because he has so differently than you do.
So would you ever date someone again like that didn't have was at least willing to try your dish, the food that you want to eat?
You know, I don't know. It's not a deal breaker, but it definitely is like, it's kind of hard because like, we don't feel like I would complain all the time. Like, are we like a family? Are we really together? Because we don't really eat the same thing.
Yeah.
You know, he's like, well, we're cooking at the same time and we're sitting down eating at the same time. I'm like, yeah, but we're eating like very different dishes. You know, so I don't know. I think if I had kids, I would want it to be more like a family dinner where we're eating the same thing.
Yeah.
But like if it's just us, I don't know. It might be okay.
It's a lot more work to have to think of like a separate dish to make. It's a lot of work to think of what to eat, period.
Yeah.
Yeah, to have to make 2 different dishes, and now when you have kids,
I didn't have to make it for him. He was cooking his own dishes. Yeah.
but you still feel a disconnect.
Yeah.
Eating together is kind of a ritual that you form as a family to kind of check in together at the end of the day for dinner, bond, catch up.
Yeah.
Things like that.
Yeah, but you're not having the same experience. You're eating 2 different dishes.
Yeah.
So yeah, I would still date someone to eat the same.
You know, I know.
I think that's like lifestyle, right? Like it's kind of like you have a different lifestyle then, and then you would still be okay with that.
Well, and that's where I eat what he's eating because I'm like, okay, I'm gonna have grilled chicken and a salad.
Yeah, but he will think you eat.
Not really.
Yeah.
Every once in a while, like he'll eat it, But like even if we go to like a Vietnamese restaurant and getting pho, he would complain the whole time. It's all hard. It's all carbs. I can't find anything on the menu.
That takes away from the experience.
Yeah.
My God.
Yeah.
I think he don't like it, not even love it. Yeah, I feel like if he doesn't like it, but I wouldn't want someone there that's complaining the whole time.
Yeah.
That really does ring in.
It does.
It does.
It does. And I think that, you read my thought, my mind when you said it's not a deal breaker. I think it's not a deal breaker, but it would take away the quality
Yeah.
of your expectation and your life and your relationship to a certain extent. But what Maul said was the key word of open. Like, is the open? Yeah, I think if they're open to trying it and open to doing it, eating it with me once in a while, that shows a lot of effort.
Yeah. He was open. It's just he's very particular about his diet, his health.
What do you think is the best dish you make? Like if you had to impress somebody, they're coming over for dinner, what would you make? The chicken la.
Really? My wings.
Only because everyone that has eaten it really, really likes it.
I would say captivate a man with your capon.
A couple. I was eating a lot of it. I like your sub.
That too.
Yeah. That too.
My wing is kind of bland today, though, guys.
I have no idea.
Let me see.
Low bland. Okay, then all
low bland. See, thank goodness for the law.
Dude, they spend like almost 2 hours deboning them. So like the stuffing.
You know what's funny? Like I love deboning chicken wings, though. Like people hate that part, but it's very therapeutic. It's because you have to be after a long day. You're like flustery when you debone some chicken.
No, I can't. No, that's too.
So I just tried it, and I think you're saying it's a little bit bland. I think the stuffing is a little bit bland. It could use more herbs. It's missing maybe black pepper and some herbs. But the outside, I think, is okay.
Yeah. Not enough.
Altogether,
remember we had the leftover and I stir-fried it for us to eat and then I added.
Oh, you did add something. Okay.
Yeah.
I feel like with stuffed chicken wings, a lot of the ones I've had, it's always been a little bland. And I think that when you're making the stuffed chicken wing, you have to season it a little bit more for the flavors to come out. It's really different from the egg rolls, even though the stuffing is similar.
Yeah.
And I vanilla, I did this.
Yeah. It blends out a little bit, so you do have to be a little bit more generous with your.
I have over-salted stuffed wings before. That's the worst.
Oh, really?
It's so salty with the additional salt.
Yeah, you're dipping it.
Yeah.
And there's no way to fix that. No. You can't mix over-salted food.
Run it underwater.
That's your reads. That's not even I don't know. And it's easier, even if it's under salt, because you have the sauce.
Yeah.
So, like,
Crunch with some salt and put some sauce in.
Yeah. No. Cash, what do you think is your best dish if you made it to impress someone?
I would say steak and seafood.
Oh yeah. Like, when I get steak.
That's my jam.
But, she likes her steak well done, so I know.
Sorry.
That's difficult for me to do.
I'm like, burning. I know, because it's such a good cut of meat that why would you do that?
Yeah.
I can't eat it in the sobs and chewy. It's weird. It's weird.
Oh, okay. I don't care how amazing the cut is. I don't care how expensive the meat is. If it's well done, I'm never gonna eat it. And so you say, if you give me cooked sushi, I don't care how expensive it is. I'm never gonna eat it. Never gonna eat cooked sushi. Okay? I'm like, cooked sushi. No.
But you know, at a restaurant, they always overcook your steak.
Yeah, you always have to ask more. Like for me, I like medium rare, so I always just ask for rare.
Sugar steak and like it looks just like mine.
Yeah. Yeah, no, we would eat at this really like expensive restaurant. And you know, usually at more expensive restaurants, they do make your steak better, right? They didn't know about it. Yeah. And it came, and I asked for medium rare, and it came out, and it was like, this is like well done. This is not good.
I never really go to steak place. I feel like it's not worth it. You can get a good cut of meat and just do it at home. It's no, like, I rarely ever go to a steakhouse.
Do you guys ever send your food back?
I do.
Yeah, I don't know.
If it's too good, I'm sorry. I'm waiting for a new cut because it needs to be tender in the middle. It needs to be.
And that makes sense.
Yeah. It depends what it is. Like, if it's really bad, then yes.
Or if you went on a date with somebody who was someone that was difficult with the waitress, like sent everything back, asked all these questions.
Yeah, no.
Because the reason I brought it is because I heard this Reddit story. The Reddit story was the guy and his girlfriend. Every time they go eat, she is a very difficult customer. She sends food back all the time, and she asks us for everything. She asks us a million questions, and so he started writing. So every time he pays for it, and like he'll like make notes of like what she did and add tip. So like send food back $5. Send ask all these questions $5. And so he would tip based off of that. And at first she didn't recognize it, and she didn't realize that he was doing that. And until she saw the receipt and saw that he was basically calling her out and writing it down. Yeah, breaking it down for her. And she got like offended, and and she got mad, and she just assumed that that's just what people do, that it's okay to just send food back, because he does it every single time. It's more like an entitlement, right?
Yeah. Crazy.
Yeah. And I feel like if you're going to be like that, don't go out to eat then. Yeah. Like, I don't know.
Yeah, I would feel badly together. Yeah, to get yourself.
Yeah, I agree. I don't ever send food back, nor do I ever complain. Like, people can literally bring me the wrong dish, and I'll be like, oh man, this is not what I want.
I'm going to stand up her. Yeah, Lanvi does not stand up for herself.
Yeah, I know.
And no, if it's the wrong dish, I send it back. Mm-hmm. I'm not difficult, but when I go out, I'm very particular. And the thing is, I will ask questions, because when they're trained, they have to know how to answer your questions, right? So I'm kind, that's the difference. I'm not rude. I'm kind of...
No, I think in the Reddit story, she's always nice about it. She's very like, oh, thank you and please and stuff. But I think the point was, but she does it a little bit too much, is what it came down to.
I think I don't do it too late. I don't think I do it too much. I think I just do it nimbly, as needed,
Oh my God, did you guys see this is a story on TikTok. I'm sure by the time this episode airs, this is old news, but I saw it on TikTok. This girl went on a date. So her and that guy, she's been asking her out on a date for like, I don't know how many times, but she kept turning him down. And then so finally she's like, okay, you know what? I'm bored, and so let's go eat. And because she wanted to go eat oysters at this one place that she said is really good. And she goes there. She orders 4 dozens of oysters that eats herself.
Oh my God!
Wow, all by herself. And then she orders the main dish after that.
Oh my God!
And her date ended up leaving. Why not? Like dipping out on her. Why? So she had to pay the bill, and she was like complaining about it on TikTok. And like complaining like, oh God, I can't believe he did that. What kind of man is he? And everyone was like, you ordered 4 dozens of oysters.
For yourself?
Yes, and an entree. It's like, and you need to,
that's crazy.
And on top of that, she didn't even really want to go on the date with him. She just went because she wanted a free meal.
I mean, he's not clear. Like, clearly out a free meal.
Yeah.
Well, he's smart for leaving, because she probably would have ordered something to go.
Or your friends, are you then like pretty conscious when you are out on a date on what you order on the menu?
Mm-hmm.
No. I am. You just order whatever.
No, like I try not to get the most expensive thing. I try to be considerate of, if they're going to be paying for the bill, to not overdo it, because I just want to be considerate about the budget or the price tag about everything.
And I just order what I would normally order, what I would want to eat, and not based on anything else. Based on if I'm hungry or not.
Yeah.
Like I was on a date like 2 nights ago. It was like an earlier day, like 5:30 to 8 when I got home. And then when I got home, I reheated some leftover and ate. And she goes, "Didn't you just go to dinner?" I was like, "Yeah, but I just had to leave lunch at 3, so I wasn't hungry. So I just got a drink and fries. So now I'm hungry." So like I'm not gonna just order shit because I'm out on a date.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't really eat when I'm out on a date. I know people think that it may judge me for that, but it's not that I don't eat because I'm trying to like be prissy or, make it seem like, oh, I want to stay skinny type deal. No, it's usually just because I want to enjoy the conversation. And I feel like if I'm sitting there kind of stuffing my face, and usually I don't have an appetite because I'm usually pretty nervous on the date anyway.
But your preference for a date is dinner.
Yeah. Yeah, so I don't eat. Yeah, but I don't eat like a massive meal. Like maybe I'll do like something small, like a side salad or like, oh, no, I'm near a side salad. Yeah, I don't eat it down. Or like I'll do like a side salad, but I'll order like a main dish, but a very small main dish, So I'll like pick at it, and, eat it, but it wouldn't be like a huge meal.
Yeah, I don't want anything really messy, especially for the first date. I do like something that is a little bit more light because I want to focus on our conversation versus like, how the hell am I going to eat this like fried chicken, like, or like
the farmer, yeah, no, don't ever say that. This is nasty. But something was falling apart. It's like, yeah, so I'm hungry.
I think for me, I want something that's more clean, that's easy to eat. I can focus on having a conversation with you without like having to wipe my face or wipe my hands. I am also pretty conscious about the price because it's like Cash said, is like, I'm not going to try to order the most expensive thing on the menu because most of the time they're paying for it, and I'm very aware of that.
A lot of times they say, why don't you?
They said my fiance will say otherwise. And Ellen's telling me about, well, you're right. You have got a baby from them, so you order whatever you want in that menu, okay? So like, yeah, on the first date. Oh, yeah.
Because we went out,
But he picked it. Yeah, he did. But he picked it
to accommodate to me.
Yeah.
So originally we were going to go to a steakhouse. And I flew into LA really early because me and Ma were apartment shopping. And so we were at the airport like at 5 a.m. It was a really early flight. We flew into LA and we had a bunch of showings that day. And so he was just more mindful because he's like, okay, then that means we're not going to have dinner till late. And by the time we have dinner at 8 o'clock here, it's like 10 o'clock, like Midwest time where I'm from. So he's like, you probably don't want something really heavy. And I was like, no, probably not. And at that time, I was kind of on a diet too. So he was like, let's go to a sushi place. And I was like, okay, that's great. Perfect. We'll just go to a sushi place. And when we got there, they gave us the menu and the waitress was like, do you guys want to do omakase? And he was like, oh yeah, do you want to do omakase? And for me, I was just being agreeable. So I'm like, oh yeah, I like omakase. We can do omakase. But that for him was like, oh dang, this girl's gonna be,
you know what, and that yourself and like databang. I agreed to because the way you said it, like, oh, should we do omakase?
Yeah.
If you're saying it like that, then to me, I'm just like
a little excited.
Yeah, I'm not.
Yes,
I wouldn't say like no. If a guy suggests something, I'm not going to say no.
Right. Especially if it's something I'm open to. Like, I'm okay with just ordering a la carte. But if you're like, oh, should we do omakase? Then to me, I'm like, oh, okay.
And then he was like, at that point, he's like, dang, this girl's gonna be expensive. She knows I'm always gonna
you did it to yourself. And but yeah, that's funny. But I don't really pay attention to the price only because I don't really order.
Yeah.
I think I did go on a date with so I went on a date with this guy and he did order a bunch of food and I was like, who's gonna eat all that? Because I'm not, like I'll probably, and with sushi, so I'll eat like a couple pieces or not. But, you know, I know guys in general eat more anyway. So I'm like, you can keep ordering, but I'm not going to eat it. But, you know, I don't want to be like, no, you know, it seems rude when you're like, no, I don't want any more. Yeah. But then it seems like you're trying to cut the date short too, you know. So I'm just like, oh, yeah, sure. He goes, you want to try this? It's like, sure. Yeah, that's why I said you're just being a big dad. They sound excited about it. Yeah, like, okay, we'll do this. Yeah, $200. $100, we're going to get the dinner tomorrow. I know, like, $100 later, this better work. Listen, I'm that's bleeding my eye now. You're engaged. Again, correction, he said 300. Should be 700. He's over there and fingering, you know, that he did the numbers right here. Oh, that, you know, tell the storyteller and I get tired of that. But yeah, I mean, have you guys ever got on a date where the guy like just dipped out on the date because the novel was expensive? No. Why? No. What would you do if you did? And he just like left.
No, that wouldn't happen to me.
I see what it is. She was like, that we know you're not standing.
No, I can't even fathom, you know. Honestly, for me, if I was eating and having a great time and if somebody walked out, okay, that's fine. I'm still going to have a great time. I'm still going to keep eating and I'm still going to not fun as it has to. Yeah, because my food is all I need. And my glass of wine. Honestly, I would really be pissed if he ordered food and I had to pay for it. Yeah, okay. If you end up be pissed. But if that's just me so far that's ordering, yeah, whatever. Yeah. But kind of like Elsie, that would never happen. You think I'm not that? Wow, and they're so confident. No way. Did you answer? I mean, that never happened to me. And if it did, I probably just find him. I have to kill him. I'm kidding. We'll watch. What if there's two guys out there who's determined to it can happen? Oh yeah, if there was, we're gonna show them. It can happen. It can happen to them. And so speaking of like dinner date, would you be turned off if you had to pay or split the bill? So back then I wouldn't have been, but that's because I spent, a big chunk of my life just being the person. So now I would be turned off. And I just feel like, the most effort you can do is pay for dinner, right? That's the most effort you can do, especially if they're the ones that ask. Yeah, I mean, yeah. But to be fair, girls don't really ask guys out on dates. But still, I still expect you to pay. Yeah.
But I agree. You're courting me. You're asking me out on a date, so you need to pay. And then, of course, like if we're in a committed relationship, then that's when I start to contribute, right? But at the beginning, when you're courting me, like I'm not gonna be paying. I have split before, and usually that's because I kind of get a sense that this is not, I don't want to take this anywhere.
So you would split if you feel that way?
I have, but most of the time the guy's gonna pay. I don't know when it is, but like every once in a while, not every once in a while, like a couple times, I'm like, you know what, let me split with this person too. I don't know why. I don't know what causes that.
So either it's because you care about them or you don't really like them. I have a friend, exactly. My friend said if she doesn't like him, she's gonna split the bill because she just doesn't want to owe any whatever in her own mind. She doesn't have to, but it's her own rule for herself that she wants to honor.
I don't do it because I feel like I'm gonna owe them. Like for the most part, they're paying, but it has happened once or twice where I decided to split it for some reason, and I don't know why. It's happened like maybe once or twice.
I mean, I would only do it if he's made a comment. Like, oh, wow. Like, I've had it where they've made a comment and I'm like, okay, tell me about bank holiday. We were having dinner and then when the bill came, he was like, oh, this is really pretty expensive. So if you make those ends, then naturally it makes me feel bad. So I'm like, oh, let me help.
Maybe it was something like that, like something that triggered. Also, to be like, let me,
That isn't a turn off. That's just is for them to say, oh, this is really expensive. Well, first of all, even as a woman, I know that the price tag is probably going to end up around this ballpark because this is the type of restaurant we're in. Yeah, right. And looking at the menu, anticipating, oh, well, if we order 3 or 4 appetizers and maybe 2 drinks each and 2 entrees, it might ballpark around this much. It's just common sense.
And it's like, if you're the one that picked out the restaurant, then you should know
Right.
the price point. And if you're taking someone on a date and you guys are having possibly appetizers, drinks, entree, maybe dessert, it is going to cost a certain amount.
Yeah.
I feel like you should take advice for guys, like they really need it, or then I take it. But I feel like if you're gonna take a girl out, take her to a restaurant that is in your financial budget.
Like then you're actually aligns with your lifestyle as well.
Yeah, one. I mean, I might be a little offended you take me to McDonald's, but I still love McDonald's, okay? But that
Don't take her on. I don't take any of us to McDonald's as much as we love McDonald's. Win it out.
no one of us no. But I'm just saying, if that's your financial lane, then I think you should just take her out. Like, I get that you want to impress her, which is fine, but you kind of set that standard in the beginning anyways. If you take her to this really fancy restaurant and then the next day you take her to a Burger King, she's gonna be hella pissed.
And it's not even about the experience being expensive. I've had guys who said, hey, let's go on a picnic, and we just have 2 beer cans and some cheese and some cuts of meat, and we just hang out at the park and go for a walk, nothing like that. So the point is, if you're going to be taken somewhere fancy and the bill comes, don't make a statement like, oh, this is expensive, right? On a track. Because the thing is, maybe unintentionally you're not aware of it, but you're making her feel bad.
Yeah.
And why would you want to do that? That's not the right messaging you want to give on a first date.
Wow, talking about dating. I feel like all of our episodes we keep talking about dating.
That must be important to us.
I know. Well, because I think when the 3 of us are single and we're in the dating world, even though I don't go on dates anymore. I hate it.
And he always offers great advice. So he's trying to help us out.
She's always trying to help us get a man. Her and her fiance. Always give these lectures. They're like the second parents to me.
Yeah.
Hey, I don't lecture you. He lectured. Yeah, that's true. Yeah, they always lecture you. But that's because he's like a brother. He's like a brother to me. So he's always like, you deserve better. I'm like, gosh. It's like, guys, what my parents tell me. I'm done. I need to live. It's like, I moved to escape from all of it. Now I still is so followed. But I appreciate it. Since it's like a kind of a mukbang thing, and this is really for Thanksgiving, I kind of just want us to go around and just kind of talk a little bit or say really quickly what you're thankful for this year. You can go first. Oh my gosh. Darn it. I'm myself on the spot. Okay. I'm very thankful for my health, and I'm very thankful that I still have my parents and my family who don't live in LA, but they live in Minnesota, but they keep me balanced, and so I'm very thankful for them. And of course, I'm very thankful for my friends as well, keeping it real with me when I'm making poor decisions, sad life decisions. That's the thing, not bad, but all these poor life decisions I made this year, reminding me, giving me the playback, Peter. But yeah, that's what I'm thankful for, health and family.
For me, I would have to piggyback off of that. I think that as I'm getting older, I tend to circle back to the basics in life. And I think that's the basics that makes things that are your pillars, So having your health is the most important thing. Because if we don't have our health, when quality of life goes down, oh my gosh, it's hard. Yeah, everything's hard. Even if you have a constant pain or constant migraines, it makes life difficult. And also parents and family and them having their health. For myself, having a good job, having good people to work with that continues to encourage my growth, and the ability to just have like authentic people around me. I'm very grateful for that. So back to the basics for me.
Yeah, agreed on all fronts. But I think for me, it's going to be more, thankful for new opportunities and new dreams and new projects, like this whole project with the girls. Just like really, really amazing new things happening this year. So, been good.
I mean, it pretty much is, again, like the basics, family, health. I'm especially grateful for like my little family. This year has been quite challenging, but I'm glad that overall, like I'm taking care of like a human now, right? My daughter. And I'm just really grateful that she hasn't gotten sick, yet, knock on wood. She's developing, she's talking a lot. It is a 16-year-old trapped in a 21-month-old body. It's been a challenging year, but seeing her really like helps, like seeing her develop. She's a really good distraction. Seeing that she's like healthy, she's growing. It's just been amazing, even though it's tough. And I'm thankful for my job, my fiance's job, that I can be at home and I can actually watch her grow and spend a lot of time with her. I know like most parents, they aren't able to always be at home. You know, we have to make a living. So most parents are out working or traveling for work, and they don't always get to spend the time that's needed with their children. And I'm just grateful that our job allows us to do that. So we're with her all the time. And we don't miss these milestones. And she's so young, they go up so fast. I can't believe she's going to be 2 in just like a few months. So I'm glad that we've been able to be there and not miss any of this. So I'm especially grateful for that. Yeah.
All right. Well, that kind of just wraps up for today. Thank you so much for joining us for our mukbang. I know it didn't seem like we were eating, but I mean, she was eating.
We all hungry.
Yeah, that's what I swear the food is good. It's all delicious. Well, I will link the recipes on our webpage so that if you guys want to try to make the food, you guys can. I will say our egg rolls is a little bit different from what you get at the restaurant. The mix that goes into our egg roll is much different than what you get at the restaurant. So definitely try it out if you want to. But thank you for joining us today. We want to wish you a happy Thanksgiving. Definitely like, subscribe, and let us know in the comments what you're thankful for this year. Thank you.
Bye, guys.